All right, man. Torture Talk After Hours. You know what it is. So look, man. Today's episode, Pusha T and Travis Scott still at it. Travis Scott came out and said some things about Pusha T, and yeah, we gonna discuss this. So let's get it. All right, man. This comes courtesy of the Bill. Shout out to the Bill. So let's get it.
Looks like Travis Scott and Pusha T's beef is still going on. Travis Scott is currently on tour. He's performing actually in a few areas for his new tour, the Circus Maximus. Yesterday, he was set to perform in Tokyo, Japan, and people had caught him on stage dissing Pusha T directly. Now, this comes after he had created this song to respond back to the clips, to respond back to Pusha T when they make the song So Be It. In the song So Be It, Pusha T.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't understand why Travis is doing what he's doing. I mean, it must be. Then again, I can understand why, but this is bad timing. I don't think that he should be out here doing that. I think obviously Travis is the bigger artist at this point in his career. I think Travis should just be more focused on just making better music or doing. Not even better, just making more music or different music. Because I think Travis Scott album is actually not bad. Actually, I think his albums are pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I think you're Travis Scott. But Travis Scott to me always fell in that. He always fell in that category of Pitbull and Tech Nine and Flow Rider. He always fell in that category to me. You know what I mean? I don't really see him as like core hip hop. He's like the sub-genre of the genre. You know what I'm saying? And it's not wrong with that because I like those artists, to be honest with you.
Decided to let off shots at Travis Scott, letting him know that he had some type of footage revealing that he cried when Kylie Jenner had left him. He says, "You cried in front of me. You died in front of me. Calabasas took it and you pride in front of me. Heard Utopia move right up the street and her lip gloss was popping. She ain't needed to eat. The net gonna call it the way that they see it. But I got a video I can share in AE it. They wouldn't believe it, but I can't unsee it. Lucky I ain't TMZ it, so be it." So, of course, after...
Yeah, the thing, man, you got to understand, man. When it come down to it, first of all, Travis Scott can't rap better than Pusha T. Let's just get that out the way before we even go any further. He ain't rapping better than Pusha T. I don't know what y'all thought, but that's not happening. Number two, what I will say is I think, and I have to call Pusha T out on this. I don't see what was the reason him doing that unless there was something behind the scenes and Travis had something. Now, I might be forgetting something. Maybe Travis did do something, but I guess to bring the spirit of competition in it, that's cool too. But plus, you know, Pusha T, he don't play around. So it could have been that. I don't know. I have no clue. No clue at all.
This, Travis Scott decided to respond. This is when he made the song Champagne and Vacay. This is the song that he used to diss Pusha T, and this is the one he performed over there in Tokyo, Japan while he was on tour, as well as dissing Pusha T directly. Right after singing the lyrics, he says, "F that guy," right? Now, the most notable line in Travis Scott's verse when he made this diss was when he said, "Made 100 off pushing T's. Now my phone on DMD." But there's more to the story, right? And it starts at the beginning of his verse. When Travis Scott says he walked in LV, 10 chains feeling like the man. Just walked in 10 deep. Yeah, man, I swear these old guys ill me. You know my guys feel me. They just want the real me. The important part is when he says walked in LV, the Louis Vuitton headquarters, because that's when Travis Scott had ran into Pusha T while he was recording his album with Malice and Pharrell. Pusha T had talked about this in an interview, claiming that Travis Scott was about to drop Utopia. He played their album for him. But the part that bothered them about this is Travis Scott made his way to the Louis Vuitton headquarters, crashed their studio session, and started playing their album while they're working on theirs. They already felt the disrespect when that happened.
Yeah, I can understand why Pusha that's right there is the reason why. Now, years later, he drops a diss, whatever. I don't care, but that's the reason why. Now, do I feel like that was disrespectful? Yes, absolutely. You don't come into somebody's session and say, "Oh, yo, play my album." Like, you don't do that. I think that that's so corny. And then on top of that, we do know what actually happened. Now that's coming back to me. Now I understand. Because you did that and then you let Pharrell hear it and then you had a song with Drake and Drake dissing Pharrell after the same beat that he gave. Yeah, that's slimy work. That's slimy work, Cactus Jack. It's slimy work, bro. Slimy work. Not gonna lie. Now, the whole thing with Kylie Jenner, man, y'all gonna leave them Kardashians alone, man. Them girls be having y'all go crazy, crying. You crying over the coochie. Well, I don't know about that. I don't care how good a girl Cuckoo is, her cookies. I don't care how good them cookies is. So she could bake them Jones with the best baking soda, top of the line baking soda, flour. You know, I don't care about. Ain't no way in the world I'm crying about. Nah, I would never. I would never. I would never. You'll never catch me crying over no chick. You bugging the hell out. You're bugging. If you cry over a girl, bro, you dig a grave and just lay in it and try to cover yourself with the dirt because your life is over, bro. I'm serious.
Pusha T had talked about the story, but another thing that he mentioned was on this album was the song Meltdown. The only problem is he didn't play the part where Drake was dissing Pharrell. In this song Meltdown, Drake talks about melting Pharrell's chains. I talked about it in a recent video, and I feel like it's connected to all of this, right? Travis Scott drops an album. Drake's on the album. Drake's on the song where he disses Pharrell. This is the same album that he played over there for the Clips and Pharrell when he was at the Louis Vuitton headquarters. And this is why Pusha T ended up taking shots at Travis Scott. He was saying that he looks at Travis Scott as someone that was disrespectful, someone that plays both sides, being a snake and all that, right? So it's obvious that Travis Scott takes the stage and tries to diss Pusha T. Now, to be quite honest with you, I don't think that this is a good diss. To me, it's a lot lackluster. I don't feel like Travis Scott was really rapping the way that he was supposed to. If you're responding to someone like Pusha T, feel like this was more so just a vague response. But I understood what Travis Scott meant when he said walk into LV with 10 chains on. I knew he was talking about the situation that Pusha T was talking about when they were over there in Paris at the headquarters, right? But now the ball is in Pusha T's court. What is Pusha T going to say now? Because if we remember the lyrics from So Be It, the net going to call it the way that they see it, but I got the video, I could share and AE it. You're lucky I ain't TMZ it, so be it. So this is the whole thing that Pusha T is claiming, right? That he has video proof of Travis Scott crying when Kylie had left him. And I mean, this is right up Pusha T's alley. He's had incriminating information on Drake about his son that he later on exposed.
Yeah, that's crazy. Listen, bro. First of all, let's get back to what he said about the whole what they call it, him dissing him in his lyrics. If you go and battle Pusha T, bro, you gotta come better than that. A lot of y'all think y'all could just gloss over this stuff. Nah, bro. Pusha T gonna cut you deep, and he always does. That's what he does. He does that. He cutting these rappers deep. And I'm telling you now, if you out here thinking you going to come with those type of lyrics, yeah, bro, it's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. You're gonna have to come a little bit better than that. Sorry, you know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. Broski. Craziness. You know what I mean? He got to come better.
I wouldn't doubt that he actually has some type of proof to back up these claims that he had written in a verse, especially when he did an interview recently saying that he never lies. So it's funny how now, moving forward, now that Travis Scott has dissed him publicly in Japan, I'm wondering if Pusha T is going to respond back either by dropping the tape or by dissing him on another song. From what it looks like, I feel like he might send that to TMZ after all. But either way, I feel like this is all connected, right? You know, we just talked about how Meltdown played a big role in the Virgil situation with 616 in LA, how in theory it could have been connected with Pharrell. But this song plays a big role in the beef that revolved around Drake and Kendrick, Pharrell and Drake, the Clips and Drake, and now Pusha T and Travis Scott. It's crazy how this song keeps playing a role in all of these beefs amongst all of these guys.
Yeah, that's true. You right on that. You right spot on that. Definitely is crazy. Well, also it's crazy how Travis Scott, you know, pledged his loyalty to Drake, and Drake basically blew his head up on stage, which is crazy to me. I think Drake definitely he tries to, and it's crazy how, it probably was because I think the song Goosebumps is one of Kendrick's highest charting songs of all time. And I think Drake didn't like that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think that really bothered him. I think it did. I think it's higher than Sicko Mode. I think it is.
But it all goes back to Travis Scott. Remember, that was his album that he played for them. And later on, drops the song with Drake on it, dissing Pharrell. I don't think this back and forth between Pusha T and Travis Scott is ending soon. I don't think that Travis Scott is a better MC than Pusha T. I absolutely think if it came to a 1v1 when it comes to bars, Pusha T got him beat. Pusha T has the most strategic way of beating anybody in a rap battle that I've ever seen. I mean, we saw what he did to Drake with Adonis and all that, right? I could only imagine what he's going to do with Travis Scott and the information that he has with Kylie, but we'll let this sit for a while. We'll see if Pusha T decides to respond back. I know it must hurt for Travis Scott to know that the Clips have received 5 Grammy nominations, and one of them is for the best music video nomination for the song So Be It, the song that they diss him on. So it's a very interesting turn of events, right? Especially if they end up winning a Grammy for any of their nominations. I think personally,
Yeah, that's nuts. It just goes to show you, man, no matter how big you are when it comes to music, it don't mean anything. Accolades is accolades. I don't, to be honest with you, I understand why people have a thing with accolades, but I don't. I don't have too much to say. I think that accolades is a good thing. I think that people need to be rewarded for their work. But as far as your boy not getting no awards and they getting 5, yeah, that's gonna be a hurt piece, especially if they win.
they for sure are going to win a Grammy for Best Rap Performance for Chains and Whips. If they don't win it with So Be It, it's just funny how this diss track is nominated for a Grammy. It's not the only diss track nominated for a Grammy. Of course, we got Not Like Us. I guess that just adds salt to the wound, right? So Be It being nominated for a Grammy, that's a diss track that was aimed at you. Maybe that's why he decided to diss him on stage. Because other than this and the song that he made, I really haven't seen him talk about Pusha T like that. It makes you think if he decided to diss him on tour because he'd been seeing the nominations pop up and saw So Be It as one of them that was nominated. Who knows? Maybe that bothered him. Maybe that made him feel some type of way. All I know is that Pusha T is seeing what Travis Scott is doing on stage, and I'm not sure how he's going to respond, but I could only imagine, right? But y'all can tell me how you feel about this in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody that's.
Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Pretty interesting. They still beefing. And man, at this point, hip hop artists need to get themselves together. Hip hop artists are the only ones that be beefing like that, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Only one we care about is Kendrick and Drake. That's it. Keep the beefing forever. Nah, I'm joking. I think that they need to get past their differences, but I don't think that that's gonna happen because you know what Kendrick said. You put money on my head, so ain't no way in the world I'm ever gonna get a truce with you, no matter what. You don't do something like that. You just don't. So I agree. But yeah, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out of here. Torture Talk After Hours. Peace. Bye.